Oh, good morning, you guys. Thought I'd do a quick video here while I'm waiting for the weather to improve. And I got to go to the store today and I'm going to see what the gas prices are today. I'm sure it's going to be a lot higher than it was the last time I passed the gas station. And I've been hearing reports coming in that we're going to go to 7 and beyond per gallon nationwide this year, you guys. And I also heard from people that deal with the oil markets said that this pain of these high prices are going to last for the next 2 years, at least 2 years. So this is going to be a long duration event. And with the Biden administration contemplating whether or not to ban Russian oil, which is 10% of the world market, we get about 5% of that. That's only going to push the prices higher, you guys. That's not going to help the situation. It's going to make it worse. And it could also spark an all out war throughout Europe. You know, you guys, people say, well, we're energy independent. Why don't we just make our own oil? Why don't we just rely on our own supply? Well, what people don't understand is that the fossil fuels that we utilize, the bulk of it is coal and natural gas. It's not just oil. The majority of it is coal and natural gas. And our vehicles run on neither of that. So that's what people don't understand. We're energy independent when it comes to natural gas and coal only. We are not independent on oil. So this is why this is a problem. But you see, guys, there's always got to be back-to-back crises. Always. You see, the pandemic didn't keep people home enough. And now that it's waned, they have to have something else to take its place. And so if that didn't keep you home, super high prices at the pump will. And it's going to be a long duration. And everything is being hit in all directions. I worry about the independent owner operators in the trucking industry that make up roughly 9 to 11% of the big rigs on the road. Those independent operators are going to be paying so much in diesel fuel that they're probably most likely this summer going to be parking their trucks and they're going to be finding employment somewhere else because it's a thankless job. All truckers talk about it. Anybody that follows that industry knows how much it's been suffering. And that's going to also affect what we get in stores. And everything that we do get in stores is super high priced. And that's only going to go up because the cost of these companies that have contracts are going to send the cost to be absorbed by the consumer. We're going to be the ones that are going to absorb the cost. And shortages are only going to get worse. And the prices are going to go extremely high. And now we've got the bird flu in the US that's affecting chickens now. So there goes poultry and eggs. You see, you guys, it's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep being one thing right after another. And I believe with what's going on with Russia, that we keep hitting them with everything. It's only a matter of time before they target our grid system. And you guys remember, whether if you believe it or not, if you guys remember when I talked about that vision where there's no electricity and everybody is stuck in place wherever they are, and they're armed to the teeth with guns, and that looting was going on in all the plazas, all the stores, all the windows were smashed out. I'm telling you guys right now, the God's honest truth, that's coming. Is this going to be the summer of that? Because we have never been in a position where that is highly likely to happen because of the cyber attacks that will be coming over time and what they will be targeting, the cost of things. If you guys remember, that vision showed me several things, and I've had 5, and 4 have come true. That leaves 1. And the final one, when I talked about the bridge collapsing, I saw the jets first, and then it showed the bridge. Here's what I think that means. The jets have already happened. I've got that on video. So I've proved that I talked 1 year before that happened, that was going to happen, and then it happened, and I got it on video to prove it. I believe the bridge was after that, because what was coming last in the final vision is going to happen after that happened. Well, that's already come to pass. But the bridge was a symbol of a collapse, not of the bridge itself, but of the United States, because I saw the looting, no electricity, people armed like crazy with weapons. And I said it was in 5 pieces. If you guys remember, 5 pieces. Well, I had 5 visions. 4 came true, leaving 1, which would be the 5th. So the collapse of the bridge into 5 pieces was the 5th vision and the collapse of the country. Because after I saw the collapse of the bridge, that's when I saw the looting, windows smashed out. It was dead quiet. There was no planes. There was no traffic. There was no travel. There was no electricity. There was no internet, no social media, nobody going to and from work. There was nothing. It was like we were knocked back to the year 1801. And wherever anybody was at the time when it took place is where you were stuck at. So say if you were away for a 2-week vacation down in Florida, but you lived in Rhode Island, you were stuck in Florida with no way to get home, no flights, no travel, no nothing. There's very hard times coming, you guys. And I wonder if this is going to be the summer. I wonder this. You know, weeks ago, back in February, shortly after, well, right before I had my surgery, before the 15th of February, for the first time in my life, I've never seen this before, for the first time in my life, before the 15th of February, I saw a flock of robins, multiple flocks of robins along the road, feeding on the berm of the road because there was enough grass exposed. I've never seen robins return that early. And my landlord told me he's been seeing the swans returning. And if we have an early spring and an early summer, I believe this is going to be one of the hottest summers on record. And in the vision, it was an extremely hot summer. Now, here's the thing that creeped me out the most, you guys. This really flipped me out because the places that I was shown actually exist. They are real places in my area. It showed me all the different areas and in the different towns. And it told me that this was national. It was everywhere, nationwide. But it showed me this large greenhouse with white trim that actually exists and sits in the very spot where I saw it. And the people that were armed with guns were on this large porch/deck. It's got railings and it's a good sized porch, but it's on the left front corner of the house. And it's a big house, a big 2-story house with a full attic. It's a very large building. And it has multiple apartments in it. And I saw this deck on the front left corner. And this is where I saw a lot of people gathering with guns. And this is where the girl was going up and down the street trying to console her crying baby. And she was doing that up and down the middle of the road that runs along through the town in front of this building. And there were weeds that were almost knee high. And that was to show that there had not been any traffic for a long, long duration of time. And the baby was crying and she was walking up and down the road in the baby stroller. The porch on this actual building that exists wasn't there until last fall. When I went to my parents' plot at Maple Grove Cemetery, because I take care of their plot every year. And I drove past this place with the mulch and my shovel and a bucket. And I was on my way to the cemetery. They just built the porch on the front left corner of this large green and white apartment complex. And that's the porch where everybody was standing with guns. They actually built the porch I saw in my vision. So it's in place. They did this just last fall. So it's a brand new porch, and it's built exactly the size and design that I saw in my vision. All the other four have come true. This is the last one to happen. The final one that I seen, the fifth one, the bridge was in 5 pieces. It was after the jets went down our lake that I got on video. I believe this may be the summer it happens, because it was due to a conflict. That's what I knew in the vision that I had. It was due to a conflict. And it was done through cyber warfare, is how we lost our power. And because of the prices of things, everything's unaffordable, and where things are going. And then with the grid going down, it was a free for all, because nobody could call 911. Nobody could call for help. Everybody was on their own. And this is why everyone was armed with guns. It was to protect themselves, because everyone had to police themselves against the dangers of criminals. Everybody that had guns had them on them like it was the 1800s. You then got to see exactly who owned guns and what kind of guns they had, because they were right out in full view. People were having them on their hips. People had harnesses where it was across their chest, where they had guns on their backs. Everybody was armed with some type of firearm, some type of weapon. And the looks on their faces, I could never describe to you, of pain, uncertainty, being afraid, a very, very somber, worried look on their faces. But to see their faces, you would have had to have seen what I saw. And really bad times are coming, you guys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm a realist, and I'm telling you right now, these visions that I had, 4 of the 5 came true. And those 4 were to teach me to say, hey, if you saw these and they came true, you can believe the last one will as well. It will come true. And I was warned well in advance that this was coming. And that's why I've done it in YouTube videos, to tell you guys about these. Whether someone thinks I'm a nut job or not, I don't care. I think I was shown it because whatever's shown it to me, whether it be God above or whatever, knows that I have a YouTube channel and that I have no problem talking about things. And I was a good source to get the warning out, but it's coming. You guys can take it to the bank. And when the day comes, when it happens, and it's dead quiet outside to where you hear birds more than you ever did in your life, and there's no power, there's no business, there's nothing left. Like I said, we've been knocked back to like 1801. When you walk outside and realize it's the reality and that it came true, you can remember who told you, because there will be no way for us to communicate anymore. There will be no internet, no social media, no nothing. And if you don't have solar panels, there'd be no way to charge your phone, and you wouldn't need to anyway, because there'd be no way to use it. There'd be no internet. You wouldn't be able to call anybody. So it's not going to be of any use. And the young people in the world today that are addicted, highly addicted to cell phones, will not be able to accept it. They will not be able to deal with that which they're addicted to, and there will be mass suicides because of it. You know, if you would have told somebody years ago that 9/11 would happen like it did, and if you explained it to someone, as horrific as that event was, and you saw that before it happened, and you told someone about it, and they'd say, oh my God, man, you're nuts. There's no way that would ever happen. Well, you can see what can happen when you least expect it. And I'm telling you guys, this is coming, whether people believe me or not. I won't be around to say I told you so when it hits, because there will be no way to communicate. You will be stuck wherever you are at the time when it happens, with no way to travel other than walking or riding a bike. Gasoline is at an all-time historic high, and it's only going to get higher and it's going to go on for more than 2 years. And there's no end in sight. Inflation is out of control. The price of groceries, the price of everything, we're being priced out and forced to be home. The rest is going to hit. And that's going to be the end. That's going to be the end of it. And it's a long, long lasting duration that this vision showed me. And it showed me all the different towns that were affected because it was everywhere. So it was just showing me to say, this is happening everywhere. What you're seeing here is happening in other states and across the country. It's everywhere. The same thing. No electricity, no way to conduct business, no more going to work, no more driving, because even if there were gas to be purchased, with electricity, the pumps underground wouldn't deliver the fuel up through the pumps. You'd have no way to get it. Everything that is not tied or locked down is stolen. People just take whatever they want. It's a free for all. It's lawlessness, and everybody's on their own. And it happens in the summer when it is extremely, extremely hot. That's what I was shown. So I believe the collapse of the bridge is the fifth vision. And the reason why it was in 5 pieces is because it symbolizes the fifth vision. It's coming, you guys, whether you want to believe it or not. Prepare as much as you can and be ready for what's coming, because this is going to be the most painful summer you guys have ever seen in your life. You can take that to the bank. And all it's going to do is take time to prove it to you. But at least you can say, I told you so. Get ready and have everything that you need in place, because it's go time. This is no joke. This is no joke at all. I'm preparing as much as I possibly can, because once it hits, I will be stuck on this property. Between all the property that he owns, it's almost 100 acres. And there's fishing. There's heavy woods here. I'm in the country. There's ways to survive here. I'm 75% off grid with a well and a natural gas well. So I'll be able to get by and survive. But for those of you that live in a city or a high dense populated area, you're going to want to get out of there. I'm telling you right now, you're going to want to get out, because people are going to take whatever they can take. I hope someone heeds this warning, you guys, because it is absolutely no joke. Everything that I had been shown, the last 4 came true to the T. Nothing was missed and nothing was wrong. It got it right. All of it, it got it right. And this is the last one to happen, because I was only shown 5. Why 5? I don't know, but this last one is coming. And I know it's coming because the other 4 have already happened. And they were true 100% and 100% accurate. There was nothing missing. It all happened 100% accurately. And this one will too. As horrific and unbelievable as it sounds, it's going to become a reality for us all, just like 9/11 was. So believe me or not, I'm giving you the warning, and I'm telling you right now, regardless of what anybody thinks of me, this is coming. You will find out. Prepare, you guys. Prepare hard and get everything that you could possibly need and stock up in as much as you can, because stuff is getting bad and it's going to get far worse as soon as we get into summer. Thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.